talk about being bullied. And I've been bullied and left hung out to dry, I feel. All right. And now Ukraine is going through the same damn thing. No one is helping Ukraine. All right. Sanctions aren't doing anything. This guy, Putin, is a freaking monster. He needs to be taken out. All right. What is he trying to do? He's trying to reassemble the Soviet Union. That's what he's trying to do. All right? That's what he's trying to do. When we look at the latest news here on the Ukraine, and they're trying to basically take over the whole country. Even though he's denying it, they're trying to take over the whole country. And what is Joe Biden doing? Absolutely nothing. It's unbelievable. It is really unbelievable what is happening. This is the first time I've seen, and this reminds me of Saddam Hussein invading Kuwait. And we send help then, but we're not sending help now. It's just unbelievable. He declares war in Ukraine. This is USA Today. All right. Condemned Russia's unprovoked and unjustified attack on Ukraine as he vowed that the world will hold Russia and Putin accountable. Yeah, well, you're not doing anything. Sanctions aren't doing anything. There were big explosions heard in Kiev and a lot of the other cities, all right? And then Putin warned any attempt to enter would lead to consequences they have never seen. So who's the one really starting the war here? It's Putin. So everybody is scared of him, and because of that, they're just going to let Putin take Ukraine. It's unbelievable. He said he wants Ukrainian servicemen to lay down arms. So you're bullying a country. You're bullying one of the biggest countries in that particular area of Europe, bullying them to get your way. I'm using threats and violence. And unfortunately, none of the world leaders are doing a damn thing about it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Let's go to this part of the world here. And we'll look at Ukraine here on the maps. I'll show you the area we're talking about here. All right, Ukraine is right here. It's a pretty big country. And Putin wants to bring it back to the Soviet Union. All right, he already has Russian loyalists in Belarus. All right? And he wants to reassemble the Soviet Union. And he won't stop with Ukraine. Next, he'll try to get Latvia and Lithuania back too, and Estonia. He's trying to rebuild the whole Soviet Union, this guy. All right, so this is Kiev right here. All right. Now, some of these other cities are further to the east. It's one thing when he took Crimea. It's one thing, but he's saying, well, we're trying to, because there's certain little pockets of the Ukraine that have majority Russian-speaking people. All right. And he feels, well, those are parts of Russia, not Ukraine. So, you don't let the people decide that. You just go and invade because this is the way Putin thinks. He's a very dangerous man. And I don't usually talk about these things, but it's scary. We may be entering a World War III here. But that's why everybody's afraid to do anything because, well, World War III could happen. So we're just going to let Ukraine basically be taken over because we're not willing to stand up against Putin. It's absolutely disgusting. He's going to start it. Once he gets to Ukraine, he's going to keep going. If you look at some of these articles here on Putin, Putin looks to stay in power until he's 83. Until he's 83. This guy is a dictator. He is a dictator. So this is the example. He doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care. He wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. This guy is a monster. And what's Joe Biden doing about it? Joe Biden is doing absolutely nothing about it right now. We look at Biden, we Google him up, he's doing absolutely nothing. I'm not saying Trump would have done anything either. You know, he kept saying he was sure. He was sure that Putin was going to invade, and he was right. But he ain't doing a damn thing about it. You have had all this time to send some troops over and help the Ukrainian military, but you haven't done anything. Prayers of the entire world of Ukraine. They need more than prayers. They need help. I know what it's like to be bullied and no one comes to help you. So I can really identify with Ukraine quite a bit. Trump and his supporters praise Putin and dismiss Biden. So you go. Trump would be even worse on this. Putin must be stopped. That's the bottom line. He must be stopped. He must be stopped. But nobody is doing anything. Nobody is doing anything. Urge Putin to stand down. He ain't going to stand down. We should be sending in the Air Force. We should be sending in the Navy. We should be helping the Ukrainian military out, defend themselves against this. We cannot tolerate this kind of aggression in the world. And he knows damn well he can get away with it because nobody's going to stop him because everybody's afraid of him. It's absolutely disgusting. And so those have been my thoughts on it. I had to make a video addressing this because I know what it's like to be bullied. And the Ukraine is being bullied right now. And nobody is helping. Hammer Russia's economy. That ain't going to be enough. Russia has a lot of their own, oil and gas and resources. It's not going to stop Putin. The only thing that's going to stop Putin is if we stand up and help the Ukrainian military defend themselves. So Mr. Putin and his Russian military cannot take over Ukraine. But everybody's afraid and everybody's scared to do something. Nobody wants. I don't just blame Biden. I blame NATO. I blame everybody. We need to stop this now. Denounces. Well, why aren't we sending in troops? Again, when Kuwait was invaded by Saddam Hussein, we sent in troops. But nobody's helping Ukraine right now. Why is that? Russia cannot exist with a constant threat. There is no threat to Russia from Ukraine. Russia has declared war on Ukraine. I'm going to read this article to you, and then I'm going to wrap up this video so you're clarifying what's going on. So it says Putin begins military operation in Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin signaled the start of military operation in Ukraine early Thursday morning local time, announcing that Russian troops would enter the Ukraine's Donbas region. The territory is held by Russian-backed separatists, and Putin declared it independent of Ukraine earlier this week. And let's not forget that those separatists, which were funded and helped by the Russian government, shot down an innocent passenger airline. Remember, I forgot the name of it, but it was a Malaysian Airlines plane that was shot down. Everybody died. And the blood is on his hands that he never paid for that either. I have decided to conduct a special military operation, Putin said in a speech on Russian television. Russia cannot exist with a constant threat emanating from the territory of Ukraine. Experts describe the move which was reported by the Russian state news agency TASS as a de facto declaration of war. Putin has declared war on the Ukraine, tweeted Alexander Vindman, a retired United States Army lieutenant colonel who was the director for European affairs on the National Security Council under President Donald Trump. The objective is to demilitarize and pacify Ukraine. This is basically the worst case scenario. Putin wants to destroy Ukraine's armed forces and install a puppet regime. Russian-speaking journalists echoed Vindman's assessment. Putin said that he will denazify and demilitarize Ukraine and bring those responsible for war crimes to trial, tweeted Julia Loff of Puck News. Not the Donbass, Ukraine, all of it. CNN immediately reported that its team on the ground is hearing several loud explosions in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. The New York Times posted video of explosions visible near the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. Ukraine's Interior Ministry reportedly confirmed that Kiev is under aerial attack. President Biden released a statement condemning the unprovoked and unjustified attack. On Tuesday, Putin deployed troops to the Luhansk and Donetsk regions of Ukraine, having previously surrounded the country with more than 150 troops on its borders. That same day, the United States and its Russian allies imposed economic sanctions on Russia in response. Tomorrow, I will meet with my G7 counterparts in the morning and then speak to the American people to announce the further consequences the United States and our allies and our partners will impose on Russia for this needless act of aggression against Ukraine, global peace and security, Biden said in a statement on Putin's latest move. Again, no sign of him sending any military help. We will also coordinate with NATO allies to ensure a strong, united response that deters any aggression against the alliance. At the same time that Putin made his announcement, the United Security Council was holding an emergency meeting at Ukraine's request, at which member states criticized Russia for creating the conflict. At the meeting, representatives of numerous countries condemned Russia's invasion. We urge Russia to cease its military operation and withdraw its troops, said Germany's UN's ambassador Antje Lindner. I can't pronounce the name, I'm sorry. Just hours earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he had asked to arrange a call with Putin late Wednesday, but the Kremlin didn't respond. In an impassioned plea directly to the Russian people, Zelensky said, "The people of Ukraine and the government in Ukraine want peace. But if we come under attack, if we face an attempt to take away our country, our freedom, our lives, and the lives of our children, we will defend ourselves." And the United States and Britain and all the other countries of the world should be there to help them, instead of just standing on the sidelines. According to the Washington Post, state-controlled Russian newscasts have depicted Ukraine as a nation run by Nazis threatening Moscow. So it's just a bunch of lies and propaganda. The Ukraine on your news and the Ukraine in real life are two totally different countries, and the main difference is ours is real, Zelensky, who is Jewish, said. You are told that we are Nazis. How could a people that lost more than 8 million in the fight against Nazism support Nazism? How could I be a Nazi? So this is the kind of stuff that this monster here is trying to make lies about. And it's time that the world stand up to Vladimir Putin. We cannot sit on the sidelines anymore while he terrorizes another country, because he won't stop with Ukraine. And we need to send in the military and put a stop to him right away. Because as long as we are scared, as long as we don't do this, Ukraine will fall. And a lot of people are going to die. Whatever happened to leading by example? The United States just sits on the sidelines now as a country is invaded and taken over by a ruthless dictator. It is absolutely outrageous. So people need to start requesting help be sent to the Ukraine. And I mean not just sanctions, I mean military help. Because if we don't do it soon, Ukraine may cease to exist in a matter of a week or less. And imagine that. It'll be a shameful example of the Biden presidency, and a shameful example of where the world stands today, when some dictator can just go and terrorize another country and spread lies, and nobody does anything. It's absolutely outrageous. Thank you for watching.